Yo! Yo! Chris, I dragged you out here on a Sunday morning, windy, cold, but I think it was worth it, eh?
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about your car now and what makes it special, because I can look at this car and I can clearly see that it is special.
Yeah.
But what about this car makes it special? Can we start from the front here?
I've fitted an original C-bond carbon bonnet, which just adds to that aggressive look. I've got the PRL intercooler, the PRL intake on the car as well. And then I've got the CE28 Volk racing rims on, Michelin tires, carbon fiber steering wheel, which we've obviously seen earlier and you spoke about.
Which I'm going to hopefully try soon. I will still see if I can get to drive this thing.
Then it's got a 76mm exhaust, which sounds fantastic. And it's got the Scorpion downpipe on data, obviously, which is an absolute must on Hondas.
Why is that?
Any guy that knows Honda will tell you that Honda Data is basically it's software for Honda. That's all they do. They only work on Hondas, and it just changes the complete characteristics of the car. These are the 2-litre K20C1, which is a turbocharged version of the legendary K20, if you want to call it. But with Honda Data, you can do live tuning as well, so you can actually tune while the car is busy driving. It's quite insane. It's got anti-lag, which is rolling boost.
So this has got anti-lag?
Anti-lag, yeah.
Oh!
So yeah, there's quite a whole lot of
rolling
features.
Boost, that sounds cool.
Flat foot shifting as well.
Flat shifting as well, so it automatically cuts power when you...
Yes.
So what's going on in the body, because this doesn't look standard?
It's got some nice spice in it. It's not hectically done. It's still very manageable. But as you can see, I've fitted the PRL intake, which comes from America. It's an American-based company, which is very nice. It allows a lot more airflow. And then obviously I've got the custom-made turbo inlet pipe, which is a lot bigger than the original OEM spec.
All of these make sure that the engine is happier.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What suspension mods and brakes and things like that?
So on the FK8, it's got the independent suspension. Got the Tane lowering kit, which is all you need, because obviously it's got the adaptive suspension where I can set comfort mode, sport mode. So each mode is different on the car.
I like the fact that it's a one button setup, but there's no options. They give you comfort.
Yes, sport and R mode.
And R mode is alles.
Yeah, so that's the thing. In comfort mode, it's very, very comfortable. The pedal's softer, braking is softer.
Even the engine map is slightly different.
With regards to the R mode, it becomes a full-on track sort of feel. Where everything's hard and stiff and the steering wheel's tightened up, accelerators more responsive, so everything sort of changes.
The brakes on this car, the Bremer brakes work really well.
Fantastic, bro. I mean, like, honestly, I think you'll experience it when you drive it, but from a braking point of view, this car is exceptionally good.
It's one of the only production cars that I felt I could feel the downforce. I could actually feel the car pushing down on the ground on a standard one. I mean, 100%. That's unbelievable.
The cars punch well above their weight. They do. I mean,
supercar killers, eh?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, the scary thing about, especially the JDM cars, in a way, it's not always about the power that they make on the dyno. They seem to translate the power on the dyno even better on the road.
But that's why you have the Honda obsessed people, the Civic Nation, I call them.
We want a car that can go nicely on a straight line, can take a corner aggressively. The designs of Hondas are always out there. Always, especially on the
some people don't like. You either like this thing or hate it.
True. I think to be fair though, and this is where I will stand my ground. The people that don't like the FK8, or they say it's too out there, have never seen them in person. When you see this car in person and you actually see why it's got the lines, why it's got the wing, why it's got the sort of shape to it, you clearly understand that this car was produced in a sense of it's there for a reason. Nothing on this car isn't meant to be there. It's there for...
You kind of, it's like asking a barber if you need a haircut, eh?
Yeah,
you're kind of a super fan. I mean, not everybody's going to do this to their car.
100%.
Car enthusiasts are car enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Is it cool if this car enthusiast takes your car for a spin?
Absolutely, bro.
now driving this Honda auto blip over there. Yeah, I might disable that because I like blipping myself, but at the moment there's quite a lot happening here. It's very loud inside here. It looks and feels exactly like the standard steering wheel, just got the carbon fiber on the top of the bottom here, but it feels very racy. I've got a light over there that tells me when the meth kit is kicking in. That's good to know. And then also, one of the big features here on the interior side is the weighted gear knob. Now, I never really noticed anything wrong with the round gear knob, but now that I'm feeling this weighted gear knob, I really, really like it. It makes the gears feel even lighter, and we know how good and special the Honda gearboxes are. Cheers. Shoo! One of the things that they do is they look at previous generation mods and then add those mods onto the next generation cars. They've done it to most of the Type R. I'm driving through this tunnel section over here, so let's hear what it sounds like. It's loud. Very loud. Trying not to attract too much attention here. Hello. So we're driving through the city now, and many little bumps in the road over here. And one of the big changes on this car is the 18-inch wheels. Now, normally this car comes standard with 20-inch wheels, which look amazing, but the profile, according to the owner, is too low, and the tires are too narrow. So a common mod made in these cars is to fit smaller tires. And there's another thing that Honda's now has looked at, and they've actually dropped the tire size for the new one to 19s. So when I'm got my hands on the steering wheel like this, I'm expecting paddle shifts, but you don't get paddle shifts to this car. This is old school. This is the way God intended it. Manual with 3 pedals. And I'm in race mode at the moment, and even in race mode, the suspension still feels good. I think those tires are absorbing a little bit more of the shock compared to what the 20s would do. Now, the owner told me that he doesn't care that the car looks, sounds, and goes like this. This is his weekend car. It's supposed to be a weapon. It's supposed to be focused. And according to him, it's supposed to be a samurai sword. With the old car, you get a lot of wheel spinning first. Almost too much wheel spinning first. Those 20-inch tires don't really like it that much. But this one over here, you can get that same amount of wheel spin in second if you wanted to. If you manage the throttle right, then you are able to get that power down when you need to. And there's a lot of power, about 305 kilowatts to be exact, and that's on low boost. Currently the car is running on water meth, but that's just to keep things cool. But there is another tune available that gives you an extra 30 or so kilowatts. This car was specifically designed to beat records at the Nürburgring. So the first 3 gears are shorter, much shorter than the next 3 gears. And for corners, oh, look at that. Turbo's making a lot of noises in the background there. So the first 3 gears are quite short. I've now got it on manual blip, and it just feels absolutely right. Now the Civic Type R, the standard one, is one of my all-time favorite front-wheel drive cars. And this one's definitely no different. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of extra power. Sure. There's not much to change when it comes to Hondas, because they know exactly what they're doing. I mean, they've got a bunch of Formula 1 engineers that work on these cars. So there's not much that you want to change. But if you make small changes, you kind of get a car that drives like this. Flipping out. I hope you guys can hear that engine sound, because there's a whole bunch of things happening here. You've got the loud exhaust, which is loud. And then you've got the turbo making all sorts of funny noises in the background there. Then there's the cracks and pops from the exhaust. Now, my view over here is slightly different to a standard Type R view. I've got this giant bulge taking up half of the windscreen in front here, making sure that engine gets all the cool air it needs through that Sabon carbon fiber bonnet. But yeah, it's quite an enjoyable experience. Everything is red here. Everything is red, so you feel like everything's a bit of an occasion. Shoo! And the LSD in front, I can feel it working. Honda's LSDs are very effective. It's very mechanical, so there's no surprises like on some of the Golfs. But it's very effective when it comes to sending power to the right wheel. You just got to make sure you hold onto the steering wheel and let the car do the work. Here's a little bit of torque steer. This corner that I'm going through now, when I drove the standard Type R through here, I could actually feel the downforce. And that's another thing about this car. It's got the real downforce that you can actually feel when you go around fast sweeping corners like that. Whew. This car runs boost per gear thanks to the on-data system. 0.8 bar in first gear, and then in third gear 1.6 bar. And then from there it manages the power as well. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all different. And that allows you to get that engine to rev up real quick. Now, Honda put a very small turbo on the Civic Type R. You get the kind of responsiveness in this car that's usually reserved for normally aspirated cars. Sure, I think I hit the limiter there. Let's go third gear through here. You can feel the front of the car biting there quite a bit. Yo, that was nice, that was nice. Okay, let me try again, third gear, fast lane, here we go. Choo-choo! I don't normally like hitting the rev limiter, but I gotta say, it's quite licky to hit the rev limiter in this car. You just want to touch it like, choo, just quickly. This is the thing though, this is why we have toys, isn't it? It's to experience those kind of moments when we're doing the most mundane things. So you've got this toy, and on weekends you're going to the 7-Eleven and you get to have a quick moment like that. I mean, that's really what this is all about, isn't it? The kind of person that's gonna get a Civic Type R is not the same person that's gonna want the Golf GTI, that's for sure. So the hooligan in me, if this was my car, would drive like this all the time. I'm sure you guys don't mind, eh? Third gear's the one, third gear. Okay, now I'm gonna go to comfort mode and drive like a, no, not really. This is such antisocial behavior. I feel like a 23-year-old version of me. The thing is that it attracts a lot of attention. I always say that even if it's a car that I don't personally like, I like seeing certain cars because I'm glad that someone else did it. And I seem to get the sense of this car where most people would buy a Golf GTI or a Polo GTI like that guy over there. He was looking at this car now because you have to admit it's crazy, and it's crazy looking. And the boy racer in us likes to be a little bit crazy from time to time. So the craziness on this car, a lot of it is functional though. As I said earlier on, the downforce on this car is real, where most cars don't have actual downforce, all they have is wings. This is a lot of under the skin changes that made this car the lap record holder at the Nürburgring. And can you believe it? This version over here is faster than that. Thanks for watching, guys. That is it from me. I'm going to take this car back to the owner now. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this crazy Type R, and hopefully we'll be doing more features like this in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.